Hey everyone, Tate here with IMS, and in this week's how-to video, I'm going to go ahead and continue our SharePoint series that we started off in the last week. This week's topic, we're going to show how to further customize your SharePoint sites, taking those templates that we were looking at last week and using those as our kickoff point, and then further customizing the site to our needs. So in this case, I'm going to work on the showcase template because we're going to just kind of show a few different pictures and some text with that. With this kind of in-depth discussion on different customizations inside of SharePoint, we're going to kind of take it one step at a time. And so in this week's video, we're going to primarily focus on the different things in the site settings options. And then next week, we'll start looking at different like web parts and everything like that, just so we can kind of get that nice and granular step on each section. All right, so to start with this, we're going to go into our site settings, which is going to be in our top right over here for us. You can go ahead and click on that. And then settings here, you're going to get a kind of a new pane of options. So your first option here is going to be what's called add a page. That's going to actually create a new web page, which then you can customize with different web parts, which we'll discuss in a future video. But basically think of this kind of home page, but just a different one. You can do different things with it. Add an app. SharePoint supports a bunch of different applications that developers have developed and programmed for SharePoint. Kind of redundant there, but that's okay. But basically what I'm meaning is there are certain applications that have been created and curated for SharePoint that you can actually use inside the application, inside the website itself. Next is site contents. That's going to be kind of a library or repository of all the different data for that site in there. So any documents, any pages created, any photos, any files, everything's going to be kind of put into that site content. Site information will be kind of one of the first ones that we'll click on here. If you ever want to rename your site or update the site's description, you'll be able to do that from here. Next, will kind of ask you about a hub association, and basically what a hub is just a master website. So normally you would do that as your landing page. And what a hub does then is it helps translate your navigation, which we'll show in this video here today, to your future sites that you create, as well as kind of make a linear spot to change site settings, and then those will roll down as well. So like themes and that kind of stuff. I head over here and we're going to go ahead and hit cancel. Next is going to be site permissions. Inside in here, this is where you're going to be able to make control for different permissions for your users. Huge thing with SharePoint to remember is that sites are done on the site level. So what that means is if I give someone edit access on this site, they're going to have edit access on everything inside of the site. So just to keep that in mind, so if you accidentally put like a admin folder or something on a SharePoint site that you don't want everyone to have access to, make sure you're being very granular on permissions and where certain files are going where. Full control, what that allows you to do then is be able to add, edit, delete, and you can also delete the site itself. Site members have the ability to do full edit, but they're not able to delete the site. They can delete files and contents within the site. And site visitors is read only. They're able to view and browse the documents and the information. They're able to download depending on your settings, but they are unable to touch or tamper with the master copy. Apply sent template. If you ended up not liking the site template that you originally picked, you would be able to update that here. So it'll bring up that same familiar pane of the different templates that you can choose from. Site usage here will actually give you different sort of statistics on how your site's being viewed, how it's being used. So if you're an admin or an analytics position, you'd be able to see how productive that website is being for your company. Same kind with that site performance. And then you can schedule a site launch. So if you're working on a site, you can say, hey, it's going to launch on this date. And then anyone who has permissions, that'll show up in their SharePoint home area. What we want to do here, though, is kind of click on change the look. And this is going to be kind of our first spot where we're going to do some edits on the actual SharePoint site. So theme, what that is basically going to be is your different colors and like text, off colors, that kind of thing, and you're able to choose that. So the current selection here is just a black and white. I've created an IMS theme one here. and you can see it kind of updates everything, makes stuff into orange, which is kind of nice. And then there's different ones, so you could do like a teal. So again, you're going to see different kind of colors that are changing. I will put a link in the description below on a website through Microsoft that actually lets you create your own theme. So then that way you can try and get your branding inside of it, which is really awesome. Next is going to be header. So that's going to be kind of focusing on this white space right here for us and all the options that are available to do inside there. So if you click on minimum, you can see it kind of condenses it. Compact. Standard is kind of the one I like to do. Allows you to have like a site logo. So if this is a HR site and your company has a logo for their HR, you could add that there or create one, kind of make it nice and fun. And then you have extended, which then kind of separates the navigation and the logo from there, because then you can actually have a banner up top here for it. Alright, and then we're going to actually upload a photo here just to kind of show you how that kind of looks like. So we're going to go upload here. We're going to go ahead and go to pictures, and then there's a stock image there. Not the best one here, just because it's not designed for it, but you kind of get the idea. And you're able to kind of set the focal point for that as well, and then kind of have that banner there for you. You can do different things like site visibility, so you can actually have the name pop up there. Your site logo and thumbnail. So the thumbnail is going to be when you're on that home page. When you see all your different SharePoint sites, that'll be there. Site logo, normally the same icon, and you'll have that there. And then you can choose a logo alignment, so you can have it centered to the right or to the left. So that's kind of the header section. Next, you'll have navigation, and this can be kind of the fun and tedious one. So I always like to have the cascading one that's just a personal preference. So I'll hit save there. And so what that will do is as we add different navigation to our site, it'll kind of cascade down and show you different options. So like if you have an HR department and you have like documents, apps, calendar, you kind of see that, and I'll show you that here in a little bit. Next you're going to have is footer, which is going to be basically kind of the same thing, but as your header, but you're on your bottom. You can then also change your different logo there if you want to put a different one there, simple or extended, so you can kind of see that's the extended, that's the simple, just a little bit smaller. And so if you have a big logo, you can put that on there and have it kind of expand a little bit better. Changing your background, then you can change that color of it, trying to pick the color that contrasts the best with your page, as well as your company logo colors. So that's kind of all the fun settings inside of the site settings. Let's go ahead and edit our home page here. Our navigation. So let's say inside of here, I just wanted to have a quick link to go to google.com. And then we're going to call this Google. What that cascade is going to look like, I do this, put it into here, and hit save. Now when I put this drop down, you're going to have this here. And then you can take it one step further and say, I want to go to yahoo.com. Let me just put that in here as well. You can then put that under Google, and then you're going to see that cascade a little bit further. Get into there, and there, and you kind of get that option. While the mega menu looks a little bit different. It'll just kind of be one drop down, and you can kind of get that look and that visibility. So definitely personal preference on how you like to kind of customize your navigation. All right, that kind of wraps up this week's video. Kind of went through a lot of different spots there inside of the site settings, how to set up navigation, as well as do different customization for your headers and your theme. Next week, we'll start actually customizing the page, which then will allow us to kind of go deeper into the navigation, and then how to make these pages really pop for what you're trying to do. All right, thank you so much for tuning in this week's video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care now.